right, so down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, Daybreak, we have our blue Protoss player, winner of the last 2 games in a row for Team Acer. It is Elfi. And his opponent here in the top right-hand corner from alternate attacks, it's Delphi.
Yep. Delphi versus Elfi. Or Delphi-Elfi, or Elfi versus Delphi. One of the two.
Elfi-Delphi. We should just mix them both up. Just potentially anger people.
Or Ipled versus Ifle. Ifle.
Ah.
If we say it backwards.
Yes. I was always bad with that for some reason.
Oh, really?
And all word games growing up. I hated Scrabble with a passion because I was terrible at it. But I love logic puzzles. See, that was my thing growing up. So
those are fun. I always enjoyed those little puzzles where it was like a bunch of like steel things put together and you had to like figure out which way to position it to like take them apart, you know?
Yeah.
That was always fun.
Those were cool.
Spatial mind games.
Yes. Those are fun.
Right.
I enjoy those. Word games, though, I hate you. I hate you with a burning passion. Sorry, I just had to get that out there.
Word game. Like, when you say word game, what do you mean specifically?
Like Scrabble and Boggle and things like that.
Oh, just like looking at a group of letters and coming up with words?
Terrible. Can't do it.
Oh.
At all.
Really? Interesting.
Nope, not my mode of thinking, but logic puzzles and mathematical questions
now,
and like games that involve like figuring out algorithms, I'm totally on board with.
We haven't really analyzed each other too much, but it strikes me that I'm more right-brained and you're potentially more left-brained.
Mm-hmm.
Does that seem accurate?
Yes.
Together we make a complete brain?
I would concur with
That's
that.
Good.
Yes.
All right.
Some would still say a partial brain, but we do our best.
That's right. All right. So you're good at like math and stuff.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. That's always quick with numbers and things. Yeah.
I'm good at like
fun fact
drawing
about me,
Mortal Kombat characters.
I went into communications in for my master's degree.
Okay.
And I actually aced the math portion of the GRE, 100%.
Wow.
And when I went and applied, as we see a pylon block over here at the Natural, when I went and applied, they were like, wait a second, you did miss a question on the math section, and you want to be in communications. I was like, yep.
Well, there you go.
Yep, there you go.
Well, you know, sometimes your passion doesn't quite go along with your brain.
That's true.
Or different parts of your brain. I don't know.
Now I'm talking about StarCraft.
There you go.
Enough
about your brain. Let's think about the brains of these two players. Ooh, the pylon was actually canceled. Interesting choice by Elfi there. Does allow that hatchery to go down. A lot of players have been actually pyloning both the natural and the third of Zerg lately just to really, really, really delay that 3-hatch build that Zergs have been trying to do. Protoss have been kind of scrambling a bit to try to find ways to combat this.
Yeah.
And that's been a pretty good one. Oh, no, the probe is trapped.
Yeah, unfortunately
actually, the drone is more trapped. So that's actually, he wasn't trapped. He could have gotten out.
That probe's pretty trapped, too. Aw, but he's going to get away. He'll recover shields here in a second. So he is forced to full wall up at the front, though. And we do have a third hatch coming down now for Delphi, so he will be moving into the typical 3-hatch build. Of course, put up his queen and a few lings first of all, though.
Wonder if that probe actually did get away. Hit Control R.
There he is.
Let's find out. Oh, he did. Okay, the shields did come back.
That's him.
Sounds good. So we do have Delphi with an Overlord in position for everything that he kind of needs, basically.
Right.
So just a fairly normal opening from both of these players so far. It looks like we are going to see that 3-hatch opening that is so popular right now in ZVP. And we'll have to see what Delphi decides to do out of that. Now, his teammate Nerchio loves to go for the max 200-200 Roach push. Stefano is another. A lot of European Zergs love to go for that big Roach push.
Yeah.
But you can also, you know, if you want to go into a bit of a longer game, you can throw down that infestation pit at around like 160-ish supply or so. Basically, when you start making roaches, and then just go into a later game tech situation from that. The big Roach 200-200 thing is a bit all-in-ish. It's difficult to transition out of that tech-wise, so we see a lot of Zerg players kind of forgo that. But if you're going to do it, this is a good map for it.
Now, we've had a lot of short games in this best of so far.
Yes, we have.
I think our longest game was like 14 minutes long. We're already into game number 6.
Even like Atlantis Spaceship has been short.
It was a Korean 4-gate, or that was ridiculous. So.
Yeah. Which has 5 gates, but ironically.
That's true, yes, as it hits towards the end. But you are absolutely correct.
Well, most of them do, so I don't know. People used to do it with 4 gates, but then they realized they could afford a 5th gate with that. If they're only making Zealots,
Right, because they pull off with just a little bit of gas. Good way for Elfi to go ahead and hide the fact that he was doing that as well.
Yeah, everyone still calls it the Korean 4-gate, though.
That's true.
So,
but we can see one Stalker out on the map. But we may actually have a longer game set up now.
Maybe.
As Elfi is actually going after a Robo, and this is kind of a cool variant. We'll see how many gates he wants to put down, if he wants to just try and go for a quick third, or if he's going to try and put on some pressure very early on as well.
Well, the 3 Immortal push, Gateway Immortal, is pretty popular right now in PvZ.
Yeah.
Can be hard for Zerg to stop if they don't see it coming. If they don't prepare adequately excuse me, for that.
And we do have double gas now, along with a Roach Warren coming up, so we should see Layer Tech and an Evolution Chamber. There's the Evolution Chamber, and Layer Tech should follow that pretty soon.
Yeah, link speed you kind of see a couple different things with what Zergs are doing. Some like to get that link speed early on. He does see 2 gases has been taken too. That is big. So looks like it will be Zerg link speed early on. Now, Delphi saw that there were 2 gas taken. That's usually a pretty good indication that there's not going to be an early push here. But we can still see him scouting in the main with another Overlord as well, just kind of checking to make sure there's not any sort of like big gateway composition going down. Only sees 2 gates building here too, so this should kind of tell him that Elfi may still have a little bit that he's holding back.
This is such a fun variant of the anti-roach defense as well. So we do see Layer Tech actually just started, but quite a bit later than the other structures were. So +1 melee attacks is already on the way now for Delphi.
Yep, I want to point something out real quick here. As soon as that Overlord was dead, Elfi did throw down a couple more gateways.
Yeah.
So this will be pretty strong 2-base timing. It's going to be 5 gate with that Robo, so it will probably be that 2 or 3 Immortal push that we were talking about a little bit earlier. It is very popular in PvZ, of course. And we'll have to see how much Delphi kind of expects this. We'll see. Because the thing is that if you're expecting early pressure, a lot of Zergs will choose Carapace over +1 attack just because it makes a +1 for the Zealots.
Yeah.
Essentially not worth anything because Zerglings still take 3 hits at that point.
Yeah, but this is such a cool variant as well, though, because it's just going to be Mass Sentry plus Immortal after this.
Yeah, what is it, about 10 sentries, I think, with this build?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow, he's going up to actually 8 gates,
8
it looks
gates.
like, yeah.
Yep, because, of course, you're spending
all
all of your minerals on the Immortal because you're mining so much gas. In addition to that, it just goes to those relatively, at least cheap on mineral sentries.
Yeah.
You can trap an enormous amount of units.
That's why you really need to make sure you scout the main as well as those gases at the natural because, like I was saying earlier, 2 gases at the natural could mean that it is going to be only sees Immortal 2. Could mean that it is going to be a little bit more of a tech thing, an expand build. But you always need to make sure because sometimes it's not, like in this case. And as we can see too, Delphi's got units at the 3rd, so he knows there's no 3rd going up. So now it is just a matter of preparing to defend here.
All right. Well, the Zerglings aren't going to be able to make their way through. It is being full walled with a 9th gate.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Wasn't that a movie, the 9th gate? I think so.
Stargate.
That's a quality movie. Yes.
Yeah.
So let's see here now as
it is a quality movie.
Elfi's starting to roll out. Delphi, though, is a pretty strong attack making its way in. 61 drones up now for Delphi. His supply at about 150 now as he continues to throw on a ton of additional units. But there's a lot of firepower heading towards him.
Yeah, drone count a little bit lower than I think Delphi would want at this point, but still not too bad. I like his idea of getting Burrow here, but unfortunately with the Observer there, it's not going to be terribly effective.
Yeah.
This is a huge scary push from Elfi.
All right. Well, he's going to continue to push his way in. He's got a lot of energy on these sentries, so he can be pretty liberal with it in taking out the first couple of lines of defenses, things like that. Can actually start assaulting the hatchery from here as well.
Oh, something big just happened actually behind the army. He's going to lose his 3rd, but the 4th pylon did get taken down. Nice force fields blocking off a lot of that army.
Impressive.
Yeah, Delphi needs to engage with his entire army if he wants to be able to beat this.
Yes, he does. And the Immortals haven't really soaked up too much damage yet. Finally, one of the Immortals is being shot, but I don't even know if it's going to go down. It's going to be pretty close. Yeah, it looks like it's finally going to be targeted there by Delphi. A few more units running in from the back as well. But so many roaches have already fallen, and so will this base. Now, the reinforcement is a little bit slower because more pylons were forced to be put up around the bottom right-hand corner. But Delphi, wow, still in a very bad spot.
Yeah, it's just so difficult to engage with all those force fields from just so many sentries here that Delphi's in trouble. You know, a lot of Zergs will just GG after they lose the 3rd because at this point it just becomes nearly impossible. What we've seen a lot of Zergs do is actually put up a ton of spines and just go for a counterattack, but it looks like Delphi's just going to try to continue holding this off.
Yeah, a few more units cycling in as well,
Yep.
And it looks like Delphi, unfortunately, losing a couple of those roaches. They make their way across the map, and Elfi eyeing up his 3rd kill right now. He's looking pretty good in this set.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like Delphi kind of misread the situation just a little bit. He didn't seem quite adequately prepared for this push. I think he wasn't expecting quite so many gateways. Remember, he only saw like 2 in the main. And this I just don't think it's going to be enough roaches. Drone's coming off the line right now to try to defend as well. Mineral walking through, but
those Immortals have so many kills.
Yeah, 17 on that one. Who knows how many the one that just died had, but it was probably a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not enough roaches. 115 supply to just 50-something for Delphi right now.
Yep, and he can just kind of stand in and engage now. The last of the roaches go down. Queens are going to fall here in a second as well. There's GG, well played. Another very